Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave. Hi there. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I hope your podcast is doing great, and I hope that you're enjoying spring 2024 and getting outside, which I haven't done yet today. I only have this week 28 interviews and pre-interviews to accomplish this week alone while I work full-time and try to sleep and eat. Oh yeah, eat. 28 this week. That's a lot of people I'm talking to, and it is amazing to have a podcast and have time in people's calendars. And if you don't do interviews on your shows, you're missing out on the opportunity to meet some of the most amazing people in the world, leverage their audience. They get to meet you. It builds this community, which is amazing. So think about an occasional interview here and there, and you get a chance to meet some really great people. If you've been on the show in the past, thank you for being a guest co-host here on the How to Podcast series. If you are a podcaster, you've been listening to this show, or you're a soon-to-be podcaster who has been listening to the show. I've been talking to people who've been listening to the show for over a year before they started their show. I'm talking to you. I would love to have you come on the podcast and for us to have a conversation around podcasting, because as we talk about podcasting, there's someone else who has the exact same questions that you have, is in the exact same spot that you're at. And you and I having a conversation could really benefit them. And you get to promote your project, your podcast, what you're up to, talk about your show, and get new listeners. We have all these great listeners of the podcast who listen to every episode, and I'm really grateful for that. And they would love to come and support you on your podcast journey. So please, if that's you, and you're like, I don't know if Dave will let me come on his show. He's probably busy, probably won't get back to me. I dare you to go to my website, howtopodcast.ca. There's a calendar invite right on the page. You can just jump the line. You know, like at those really fancy restaurants where they have that red velvet rope, got to stand in line forever to get a table. I'm at the door. I'm holding the door open. I'm waving you up and saying, come on, I want you on the show. I want to talk about your podcast, and I want to meet you. I would love to meet you. Howtopodcast.ca. I want to talk to you today about why having merch, you know, the shirt, the mug, the hat. Okay, why do I need that for my podcast? And should I? And Dave, where do I even go to start? So I have some great ideas for you, and I have some links, which will be in the show notes, as always. You know how I do things. And I would love to help you if you want to create some kind of merch for your podcast. I'd love to help you and show you what the tools that I'm using. And you can go check out my shirts if you want to and see what they're all about. Links are always in the show notes. Let's jump in and talk about merch. Should I have merch for my podcast? How hard is this to do? I'm not very creative, Dave. I need some help. I'd love to be there for you. And you click play on the perfect episode. Let's get some merch for your podcast. And why is it even important? Thanks for listening. You ready? Here we go. So selling merchandise can significantly help build your podcast brand and promote your show in many, many ways. Your community who love your podcast, they love to support you. And this is another form of engagement when someone says, Dave, do you have a shirt for your podcast? Because I'd love to wear it and have people ask me questions about your show so I can tell them about how much I love your podcast. We all have these favorite things. Have you ever been to a concert? Okay. And they have this table at the exits where they sell merch, like shirts and stuff like that. Well, it's kind of cool to have a concert tee. I've got many in my closet of concerts I've been to. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I'm part of that community. And then when you wear the shirt and someone sees it, they're like, oh yeah, you too. Oh, that was a great concert. You were there? I was there. Great, cool. It's really neat. Van Halen. Yeah, Van Hagar. Yeah. We're instantly friends because of the shirt. And it's one way to kind of advertise your favorite podcast. And I would say it's a great way to advertise your own podcast. because it definitely opens the door to communication. One of my shirt ideas that I'm working on and I have out in my links is a shirt that says on the back of the shirt, okay, because what's one of the things we say in our podcast? Make sure you follow me on social media. Make sure you follow the podcast. Make sure you follow. What about a shirt on the back of the shirt that says, you are now following a podcaster? And then either a QR code, people can pull out their phone and take a picture of your shirt while they're standing in line behind you at Walmart, or your website that talks about the name of your show. So it could be, you are now following a podcaster, and on the bottom would say, howtopodcast.ca. So even though I'm not even having a conversation with the person behind me in line, they're still reading my shirt going, what's a podcast? This guy's a podcaster? She's a podcaster? Now I'm curious. I want to ask. So you could be advertising your show simply by wearing some great, cool merch that makes people go, hey, tell me more about the podcast. I'd like to know more. I'm an author. You have an author podcast? Wow, tell me about that. You've just opened the door to talk about your show. And again, remember, podcast marketing is all about word of mouth. It is the best way to grow your show. So if you can have a conversation in line with somebody at the grocery store, then you just got a new listener. So a shirt might be the perfect way to do that. So having some merch for your podcast can help you to grow. You're not going to make enough money to pay your mortgage every month from this, probably. I don't. But it's a great way to have something to offer to your community. Again, another arm of engagement. You have your Buy Me a Coffee, which people support you with your Buy Me a Coffee link. It's a way for them to say thank you for a great podcast. You also have your SpeakPipe, which we've talked about many times, where people can leave you voice messages right from your website, your social media, your email links. People can leave you a voice message, and it's great to actually hear the voice of a listener. It will make you all warm and fuzzy inside. So those are forms of engagement. This is also a form of engagement, having a marketing arm and merch for your podcast. And you're thinking, well, it seems salesy and it seems weird that someone would wear my podcast out in public. But give your audience the opportunity that if they want to buy something and support your show, that there's a way to do so. So there's many different options I'm going to present in front of you. Some have different pay models. Some have different ways that it works for you. You might make some money. It might cost you some money. But you want to try to come up with a way that works best for you. So I'll share with you the one that I use at the end of the episode and talk you through what I do. But I'm going to give you some other alternatives as well, because again, I haven't used all of these, but I've been doing my research for you, and I have links again in the show notes. So let's jump in. So how does having merch help you promote your show? Here's several ways. Number one, it gives you brand awareness and visibility. Podcast merch like t-shirts, hats, mugs, and stickers act as a way of being like walking advertisements out there in the wild that bring people back to your brand. When listeners wear or use these items, they essentially become your brand ambassadors. I love all of the things around Coca-Cola. My wife and I have been collecting Coca-Cola memorabilia for over 30 years. A lot of antiques and unique one-of-a-kind items from the past, back into like the, early 1900s, even the late 1800s, of advertisements, wood crates, old bottles. I've got some pretty amazing stories behind the items that I have in our collection, and it's just kind of a thing. It all came because of an illustration where I used Coca-Cola as an example. It's not like I'm addicted to the stuff, but I just love the branding. And I love that it's got cool things that you can collect. So I got the wooden crates, I got the glass bottles, I got signs, I've got all kinds of interesting things. And it's just kind of a cool little thing. I really identify with the brand. And that's one of the things that I love. And I have like a radar up. I can see it everywhere, and it catches my eye every time because I'm aware of the brand. Your podcast needs an awareness piece beyond pressing play on your podcast. So the more you can get it out there in front of people, having merch will definitely help your brand awareness and visibility. Number two, it's also going to help with your listener engagement and the loyalty of your audience. A loyal listener of your podcast is someone that comes back again and again and again. These are not the people that kick the tires and really don't commit. These people are in, and they're looking for a way to support you. They love what you do, and having your shirt, even though it's just a shirt, right? Just a hat, just a sticker, it's a way for them to talk about you and share something that really interests them and they find value in. So give them the opportunity to do so. It's another arm of engagement. Offering merch allows your dedicated listeners to show their support and connect with your brand on a deeper level. It's their stamp of approval on what you do out in the public. It fosters a sense of community and loyalty and encourages listeners to continue engaging with your content. They will talk about you when you're not in the room. That is word of mouth marketing, and you need to do more of it. The third part here, it's also an additional revenue stream. I know. For most of us, we hear in podcasting that we got to make money with our podcast or we're not a success. And I would love to dispel that for you. Most podcasters, the majority of podcasters, make very little amount of money with their podcast. And it's not to discourage you in that, but it's just the reality that for the most part, many of us are self-funded. Maybe we have a buy me a coffee, which is great. Thank you for your support. But for the most part, we don't make a lot of money with our podcast. And having one more iron in the fire, as we would say, helps you to get the potential for making a little bit more. Again, back to the original point, this is not pay your mortgage money. This is not retirement money. This is not quit your job money. This is just one more way to earn a little bit of money for you. And again, it goes back more to the engagement piece than the financial benefit of having merchandise. Having this additional revenue stream, it does provide a little bit of extra money for you as a podcaster. And it helps you to monetize your content and offset some of the costs associated to being a podcaster, whether it's your time, right? Your time is worth money. Some of the tools, some of the subscriptions you have, they all cost money. So having a little bit of extra come in through merchandise sales can offset that. This can be especially valuable for us independent podcasters and for those who are just starting out. So it might seem weird with 5 episodes to you be considering having a merchandise line for your podcast, but there's people who listen to your show. There's people who find value in what you do, and there's people who identify with your content and you as a host, and they would gladly do something to support you beyond your buy me a coffee and your speak pipe. They would love to support you by proudly wearing something they identify with because they know it helped them, so they want to help more people. So let them do that. Don't stand in the way of your audience promoting your podcast. Having merch can definitely open the door to gain new listeners. And take a listener who loves your content and turn them into an evangelist for your show out there talking about you to audience members you've never met and bringing people into the fold who will love your content. Word of mouth marketing works, and merchandise is a great way to leverage that. When it comes to online print on demand type services, that's what I prefer. You can go with like a local company and order a bunch of shirts, have them pre-printed, and you have a variety of sizes, small, medium, large, extra large. You have the colors you pick, and it's kind of a shot in the dark. You don't really know who's going to respond. You're going to have to pay for the shipping. You're going to have to arrange for you have to realize you have listeners in all over the world. So it could become cost prohibitive to be shipping out this sticker or this shirt or this hat or mug around the world. It might cost you more than the actual item itself. So think about that. You can go and prepay and buy all this inventory and keep it in your bedroom, or you can do a print on demand way of doing this. And this is what I do for the How to Podcast series and my other 7 shows is I just have it done in the moment and they handle everything. I don't make a lot of money, a very small amount of money using these print on demand services, but it's a way that I don't have to worry about credit card transactions, about shipping, about monitoring the shipping, making sure it's delivered, customer experience, all of that. I don't have to have a credit card processing service, a website that handles all of that. It's done for me. So at the expense of not making a ton of money with my merch, at least I have a way for people to do so. And it's all covered by the people who take care of it. So that's kind of my default. I like it easy. I like it simple. And instead of saying keep it simple, stupid, which is the KISS format, not the band, I like keep it super simple. A little more positive because none of you are stupid. Keep it super simple and try these print on demand sites. So here's a few options for you to try. I've tried some of these. I haven't tried them all. But I will tell you the one that I use here at the end. But one of the first ones I would suggest you check out is called Printify. Printify is a popular print-on-demand service that offers a wide range of products, including t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. They have a global network of print providers, ensuring fast and reliable shipping worldwide. Again, keep in mind, you may be in Columbus, Ohio, but there's someone listening to you in Poland right now. You want to make sure it's easy for them to buy your merch as well. Printify is known for its user-friendly interface, competitive pricing, and excellent customer support. Again, links in the show notes. Go check out Printify as one of your options. One thing that's really cool is they give you mock-ups of your item, so you can see it on a mug, you can see it, a person wearing the shirt. Those are all kind of cool. They kind of give you an idea of what this really looks like. They have good quality products. I like them, but check out Printify. That's one option. The next one would be another one that has print in the name, Printful. Printful, again, link in the show notes, is another well-established print-on-demand service that caters to the global audience that you have. They offer a vast selection of products, including apparel, accessories, and home decor items. You need that pillow for your couch. It could be your podcast on there. Printful is praised for its high-quality printing, seamless integration with popular e-commerce platforms. So if you have a Shopify, an Etsy store, that kind of thing, and they're really efficient with their fulfillment. So that's another option, Printful. Now, I haven't used them myself, but I do know people who have, and they've said many great things about them. So again, link in the show notes for Printful. Another one is called Teespring. Teespring is another platform. I haven't tried it myself, but Teespring is a print-on-demand platform specifically designed for creators and influencers. It offers a wide range of customable products, including t-shirts, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Teespring is known for its user-friendly design tools, robust marketing features. Can you tell I'm reading from their website? Yes. And excellent customer support. So there's another option for you there as well, is Teespring. The fourth one is, I like the name of this. Fourth one is Spreadshirt. Yeah. No, not spreadsheet, but Spreadshirt. Spreadshirt is a well-established print-on-demand service, offers a vast selection of products, including apparel, accessories, home decor items. Again, they have a global network of print providers and are known for their high-quality printing, fast turnaround times, and excellent customer service. So those are 4 options. The one that I've been using the most, option number 5, a bonus for you. Are you ready? A bonus. Here it is. I use TeePublic. Now, TeePublic, basically what it is, from my understanding and how I've been using it, I make a small, I'd say tiny amount of money anytime that I sell something on TeePublic. Now, for TeePublic, you're basically a creator for them, and they're kind of the salespeople. So I've seen creations that I've made promoted on TeePublic to the audience, like promoted out as like, hey, this is a great shirt, this is a great hoodie, this is a great hat, whatever. They promote it for me and bring people to my store on TeePublic. I create my artwork on Canva, my podcast name, my fun quotes or things from my show, the follow me, I'm a podcaster on the back of my shirt, all that stuff. Created in Canva using their templates. And then I bring it over to TeePublic and load it up there so you can actually buy the shirt. Most of mine are just going to be the words, the name of my podcast, a website address on there as well, something that connects the podcast to the person who's reading it in the moment. And so I will make a small amount of money for every sale of my artwork, my things that I've uploaded to TeePublic, whatever it's put on. I even created for my little granddaughter, Delilah, a little onesie that said, Future Podcaster. And you can see that artwork on my TeePublic store. And I made that just for her. So I've only sold one, and it was for Delilah. So I'm trying to create my own podcasters. Here, everyone, one at a time. So that's an example. You can make little things for children. You can make things that are only stickers and they're not available as a shirt, or only a mug, or only a shirt. And you can decide on what colors are available, what are not available. So you have the opportunity to do that. If you have any questions about TeePublic specifically, because I use that one myself, go to howtopodcast.ca. Let's get in the calendar and we can kind of walk through the platform and I can show you how it works. I'd love to do that to help you to get your merch store up. And if you're like, Dave, I don't have time to do all this, what I would love to offer to you is I will create with your artwork for you and put you on my store. And when you sell something, you're going to get a couple dollars. I will reimburse you for that and give you back the sale that you made. And you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. I'll just do it for you and put it into my store, and people can buy from my store to support your podcast. And what I'll do is just give you a buy me a coffee donation back so that anytime you sell something, I'll just let you know and give you the money so you have it. But then people will be wearing your shirt. They'll be out there promoting your podcast. And you don't have to worry about all this stuff. Let me know if that helps you, because I think you should have something out there in the world for your podcast. Now, why is this important? In September of this year, my wife Jennifer and I are going to be flying out to Calgary to see our good friend Scarlett, but also to go to Pod Summit. It's a podcast convention for podcasters. So all of us podcast nerds all gather together in one place. Should be interesting. So you betcha I'm going to be wearing something about my podcast. I have 8 different podcasts, so that's going to be interesting. Some wardrobe changes going to happen during the day. But I never know. You never know who's going to be there, who will be like, oh my gosh, it's Scarlett from the Classic Advice podcast. I can't believe it. And you're wearing your shirt and they're like, I listened to your show. So having your merch on is a great way to promote your podcast in public. And you're like, Dave, but I don't want to seem salesy. Are you proud of your podcast? Do you work hard on your podcast? Do you bring value to your audience? You're not being salesy. You're just identifying yourself as the host of the show. Let people be nice to you. Okay? Stop that. So every podcaster, I think, should have some form of merchandise plan to promote their show. And 4 reasons before we leave. 4 reasons why this is important. Branding and visibility. Merch helps establish and reinforce your podcast brand identity. Listener engagement. Offering merch allows listeners to show their support and connect with your brand, fostering a sense of community and loyalty. Additional revenue stream. Merchandising provides an additional revenue stream for you and your podcast, helping to offset the production costs. In marketing and production, merch can be used as a promotional tool, given away as prizes or incentives, or sold at live events or conventions. And by partnering with these reputable print-on-demand services and developing a well-planned merchandise strategy, podcasters can effectively build their brand, engage with their audience, and generate some additional revenue streams. If all this seems like a lot of hard work, reach out to me. I'd love to help you. If this seems easy, go through and click the links and take a look. Look at the terms of service. Look at the monthly cost, if there is, to sell your products on those services. Look at how much money you can make and make the best choice for you. For me, I don't really want to pay a monthly fee to have my items on a website for sale, because if I don't sell anything that month, I just paid for nothing, right? I didn't even make any money. So I like the idea of TeePublic in that I only make money when I sell something. And if I don't sell something, it doesn't cost me anything. So that's the way I'm going right now. And again, if you need help with that, let me know. howtopodcast.ca. I would love to see your merch. So send me a link here at the end of the podcast. I would love for you to send me a link to your store, to your items, from your website, whatever. I would love to see what you're making. I would love to see it. So I will include my TeePublic link. If you want to go check it out, you can click the link in the show notes and go check out what I have and what I'm creating. Some of it's kind of weird. Some of it's kind of goofy. But I just like creating these things and throwing them out there. Have I sold a lot? No. But I even buy my own stuff just because it's fun. And I'm wearing one right now. I'm wearing my What's a Podcast, howtopodcast.ca shirt. It's black with white letters. It's got a little red Canadian maple leaf on it because I live in Canada, right? So this is one of my favorite shirts. So head over to my TeePublic link in the show notes. And as well, you can find me at howtopodcast.ca. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening about merch. I think you need to think about this. Even with 5 episodes, you need to be thinking about your merch strategy because your audience loves you. Your podcast is worth it, and you need to be talked about around the globe as people sport your merchandise and tell everyone how much they love your podcast. Don't get in the way of your audience promoting your show, okay? Do it, and then see what happens. I'd love to see your stuff. howtopodcast.ca, everyone. Thank you for listening. Catch you on the next episode. Hey, thanks for being part of the How to Podcast family. I appreciate you so much. You make me happy. And the fact that you're still here, after all the chairs are empty and everyone's leaving out the exits, you're still here. That's great, because you're exactly the person I want to talk to. You never go to an event and the speaker's up on stage and they do something and then everybody leaves and you get a chance to stick back and kind of hang out with them, or the band. You get to go talk to the band and get an autograph. All the other people are gone, but you get one-on-one time with a person that you really like and you want to know more about. I would love to have more time with you beyond a podcast. I appreciate you being here, but I would really love to talk to you and to be there for you and help you. So at howtopodcast.ca, my website, you can go there. There's a calendar link. It's free. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not here to make money from you. I'm here to help you. howtopodcast.ca is the website. Go there. And the other thing you'll see there when you're on howtopodcast.ca is a link to our podcaster meetups. Now, what are these podcaster meetups? They're on meetup.com. They're a Zoom call, and we get together with podcasters just like you. We have a maximum of 20 available spots. We do them every week at this point. Right now, they're on Saturdays, and I would love for you to come join us. We have some of the best podcasters in the world there. Some of them are brand new. Some of them have been doing this for a long time. Come and learn from the collective knowledge of a bunch of great podcasters, all assembled in one place. You do not have to have a podcast to be a part of the meetup group, but you have to have an interest in podcasting and want to come and contribute. So howtopodcast.ca, and we'd love to see you at our next meetup. Okay? Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for listening.